Hi, my name is Kayleen and I'm here at Balanced Pilates in Athens, Georgia. Today I'm going to talk about how to maintain your Balanced Body Cadillac. The first thing we want to talk about are the components that are important for safety. So when you look at your Cadillac, you want to check with your hands that all of the eye bolts are tight. So as you go around, if you can wiggle them, then they need to be tightened. So you can see this one is loose, so let's go ahead and tighten it. To tighten the eye bolt, take a screwdriver and a 7/16 wrench. We're going to use the screwdriver to go through the eye bolt, and the wrench to go around back. First, tighten the lock nut that is closest to the eye bolt. Okay. We're going to tighten that nice and tightly. And you can see there's still a gap here, so let's go ahead and tighten the cap nut that is right behind it. Okay. Now it's nice and tight, won't move anymore. Another safety issue that we want to watch out for happens especially up here on the horizontal crossbars of your canopy. So we want to look at these eye bolts and make sure that none of them are bending open to where the spring dog clip can just pop out without depressing the spring. Okay, these ones all look great, but I'll show you a picture of one that is opening up that you want to avoid. If you see it opening up, be sure to change it right away. Next, you need to check all of your loops, handles, and your safety strap. So your safety strap is especially important. You want to give it a nice little tug and check it and make sure that you don't see any frays or basically anything that could keep tearing to cause it to break. This one has a little bit of fuzziness on it, that's fine. We just want to make sure that there are no cuts or threads coming loose. Make sure you check your handles and loops also. The next thing we want to check are your T-pins for your push-through bar. If you have the kind that has the button, you want to make sure that when you press the button, this ball depresses. You can see that it goes up and down. If that ball is stuck in the down position, even when you let off of the button, you need to replace that T-pin right away. Because if the ball is depressed, then your T-pin can come right out at any time, and you don't want that. The next thing we want to check are your springs. You should be replacing your springs at least every 2 years, just like Balanced Body recommends. And every quarter you should check to make sure that there are no deformations, kinks, gaps in the coils, anything that looks funny. If you see something like that, then that's a sign you need to replace the spring right away. To check the spring for anything odd that you can't see with your naked eye, just run your hand gently down the body of the spring. It should feel nice and straight and uniform. If you encounter a spring with a kink or with a little S-curve, then you'll be able to feel it right away by running your hand down the body of the spring. The other thing you want to make sure is that all of your set screws on the receivers for your canopy are nice and tight. So you can see this one's a little loose, so we're going to take our Allen wrench and tighten it up. It doesn't have to be super tight, but it needs to be snug. Also, make sure that you don't have your cotter pins in anymore. You should be able to see this hole right here, and you shouldn't have anything going through the hole. That's only for installation and setup. The next thing we're going to talk about is everything that affects the function of your machine. So there are lots and lots of noises that develop and are really annoying. One of them can be from your eye bolts. So as you're using your push-through bar, and over time, the eye bolt might get worn down. So can you hear that creaking noise? the spring, that's actually the eye bolt, and the inside surface has been worn down. So one, you can change out this eye bolt, or two, you can switch to a different eye bolt that you haven't used before. If you want a temporary solution, we can take our silicone spray and rag and spray a little bit on the rag. Okay. Now let's wipe the inside of the eye bolt, clean it off just a little bit, make it a little bit slippery, and clean the inside of the doclet. Put it back on, and now it should slide nice and smooth over the surface of that eye bolt. This solution probably won't last very long, but it is a temporary fix. Let's check the push-through bar. I like to just let it swing a little bit and listen for noise. This one's pretty quiet, but usually you can hear a nice, loud, grinding or squeaky noise, kind of like moaning. And to fix that, we're just going to add some oil to the T-pins. So take a rag and take your 3-in-1 multi-purpose oil. Okay? Take one T-pin out. I'm just going to let the push-through bar sit here, nice and quiet. Okay? Wipe the surface of the T-pin with your dry rag. And then let's put a little bit of oil along the length of the T-pin. Make sure you get the excess off because we don't need it to be dripping everywhere. And then let's reinsert the T-pin. Good. Make sure you wipe out any drips that you see. Let's repeat on the other side. Now, it'll be nice and smooth and quiet when it swings. One of the things I tell my clients is that if your push-through bar doesn't swing freely, or you have a really hard time making your sliders on the top of the canopy or on the side of the canopy slide, then that probably means that the whole frame is not square. So what you're going to have to do is go back, loosen up all of the set screws on the receivers for the canopy tubes and realign them step by step, just like you did when you followed the instructions to install it. Making sure that it's nice and square allows everything to move freely, easily, quietly, and makes it a tool instead of an annoying piece of equipment that helps you do your job. Now we're going to clean the tubes that your horizontal slider and vertical slider slide on. So grab your silicone spray and the rag and climb on up. First we're going to spray the rag with silicone. Now let's wipe down the tubes. Wiping these down gets all of the oils and the fingerprints and the dust that collects off of there so that the sliders can move a lot more easily. Okay. So now, when we move the slider, it slides really nicely and where we want. Okay. Let's do the same thing for the vertical slider. Great. If you notice that your roll down bar or any other wooden bar that you use in your studio has a thick layer of grime on it, maybe from lotions, dirt, oils getting stuck on it, you can take some steel wool, the 0000 rating, the very finest, and gently scrub that grime off. You want to be careful not to press too hard, okay? Just have some patience, because if you press too hard, then you run the risk of actually damaging the finish on the dowel. So just rub hard enough, gently, long enough, so that you get the layer of grime off the roll down bar or any other dowel that you have. Thanks for watching my maintenance tutorial, and I hope to see you back here again soon.